Hello friends, hope you all are good. Welcome back to this tutorial where we'll just continue our discussion on ABAP and cloud. So in our last tutorial, we discussed about how to integrate Eclipse ADT with our ABAP and cloud trial instance, and we created a Hello World program. So today our journey would be on creating a transactional application, some sort of uh, will not basically create an application in that sense, but will create a service which will be testing through some preview option, which is a fantastic way SAP offers a kind of a Fury view that we can able to see, and we can test our CDS application as a transactional way. So just to start with the explanation how what exactly we're going to do. So this is the data modeling behavior which we already spoke about on our last tutorial. So here we are going to create a business object. As you know, business object is dedicated for a business functionalities or business behavior, right? So similar way we'll be creating a business object. Eventually that will uh, uh, have certain different parent and child or kind of a root node and different child and leaf kind of concepts. And this application, what I'm planning to build along with you is a sales order application where I'll just take two database table, which is a sales order header table and sales order item table. So you'll be creating these two tables from scratch, of course, and on top of it, we'll build a CDS, right? Eventually, we'll add some flavor of behavioral flavor, which is nothing but a crude capabilities. If you just think about normal CDS, it is nothing but a data kind of view option. Creating a CDS means I'll have multiple tables. I'll make a join with certain logics and kind of a conditional way of connecting to multiple tables. Eventually, we have a provision, right, in a new to code paradigm, design paradigm, where we can have a provision to push down a lot of complex logics like unit conversions or maybe many case in case kind of statements. So that on top of it, that we build the CDS, right? So it's normally for the data fetch kind of, I mean, data display or a kind of a read operation you can think through, right? So we can make a query on that and it will return the information back which we are looking at. But generally, this CD is not only for the preview, because SAP has offer crude capabilities which we can attach on with this CDS to make it a transactional application along with this, consuming the CDS as a kind of a OData or something. So before coming to ABAP on cloud, you definitely are aware of, like, there is a option called object model annotations, through which you can attach a BOPF, which is nothing but a business object processing framework, right? Attaching this BOPF to CDS, it will make the CDS kind of a crude capabilities it will offer, so that the CDS can create the data, update the data, or delete the data also. So that crude capabilities will be handled it all the way through the BOPF integration. But BOPF has certain issues with the number of artifacts that get generated, and there is a type issues. For that, SAP, moving forward with this behavioral model concept. Behavioral is also the same way doing things, means attaching the crude capabilities. So we'll be doing those kind of things in this journey, and after that we'll ensure that our business object gets projected, means I can have multiple entities, means multiple CDS, and eventually all the CDS not necessarily to be exposed to the external wall to be consumed for. So we have a provision, or we can discriminate which one I would like to get it export and which one I should not be, right? So that kind of a provision that it offers by a service definition, right? Here you can see the service definition defines scope to be exposed, which are the things I'm interested to expose, right, to be consumed for. And finally, once we are ready with the service definition, we have to attach it to a protocol, right? So that kind of a communication protocol will be using an OData, right? OData protocol will bind it to the service so that it can be eventually consumed by an Fury application at the end, or maybe other way, some web API consumption, whatever you think through. Like here, you can do the same also. Okay, a lot of theory. So let's start. Okay, so if you can recall, in our last tutorial, we created a hello world under this package, wrap underscore demo. We'll use the same package, but little bit, make our journey easier. I already, you know, created certain design time artifacts which we are going to create over here, but I have put all the code piece into my git link so that you can refer that link, which I'll be given to the description box. And during this tutorial, I'll be using the same code piece. I'll trying my best to explain what possible the code piece is doing all about. So let's I hope it will be clear, because I don't want you seeing me typing all the way all the things. So let's just get benefited out of this git link code repository. As I told, I'll be starting with the header table. So this is my AOC, which is an ABAP on cloud header table. So let's go to this table. I can Yeah, I can copy this one. So before that, let's create a table, dictionary table quickly. Okay, so if it is not available directly, you can go to other, and from there you have a dictionary. So you just select database table. So let's create ZAOC header. So I'm calling it is so header table. Okay, so let's create. Okay, so now we can copy this code snippet and we can paste it over here, and let's save it. So you see, this table is creation is not unlike, I mean, AC11, right? We have normally in on-premise in under SAP GUI, we have been using AC11, right, to create our database table with the different data elements and lots of indexes or whatever, right? But in ABAP Cloud, we have to do this way of database creation, which is very similar like delivery class used to select whether it's a maintenance is allowed or not, the description, and whether it's any character numeric extensible, I mean enhancement category, rather that we also had to select different data elements we have to put. But in cloud, we don't have those wiki.org or those kind of things. Here we have to live by with this abap.char, and we can give the proper length. Okay, so that is what we have to do. Okay, so let's keep moving, creating let's choose this folder. It will be easy, database table. Let JAOC, but this time we are going to create item table. I'm writing a description, say so item. Next, finish. So now we'll go back to our repository, and we'll just get the code snippet for item table. Okay, so let's copy this code and put it back to item table. So in this item table, we are having order ID and order item along with the material number, quantity, and unit of measure. So you very well can recall, like when you used to do the SE11 kind of structure or table creation, we had to mention the table reference, right? Certain reference field for the currency key and the quantity unit of measure, right, for the quantity. So we had to link these two things, unit of measure or currency key. Like, so here we'll be using the semantics, this annotation, and we'll be mentioning like which table and which field. So you see, this is the table we are going to create, right? JDOC SO item, and the unit is this unit of measure. I hope that's very much similar and not get to be confused. So activate both the tables. Okay, I think I already activated the other one. Yeah, so both header and item I'm gonna activate. Objects activated, cool. So no errors, that's fine. Okay, next is let's see what we have to do. We are going to create the CDS right on top of this table. So let's create in this demo kind of tutorial, I am not actually showing the productive way of doing things, right? In productive way, you have to follow the VDM model, right? I mean, virtual data model, those things like a basic view, then composite, then finally consumption view, right? So basic view is on top of the normal database table. On top of we generally create the composite view, and finally the consumption view will be having all the annotations. So here, uh, kind of a shortcut. I'm just making this video a little bit only for POC kind of things to get to know how it works, and having an assumption or impression like you all already know those kind of this CDS or VDM concept. So I'm not lengthening my discussion. So in case you have any query on that, kindly let me know in the comment section. So let's move forward with the CDS view. Okay, so here is my CDS for header table. Meantime, let's go to our package and create this CDS core data service. Will find data definition. Okay, so let's put jet CDS SO header. I'm writing a description. Let's say CDS for SO header. Next and finish. Okay, so now in this CDS, we'll be just copying this one and I'm pasting it, enter code snippet. So you see, in case this is the first time you are seeing this kind of thing, of course you get a little bit confused what's going on or what's I have written. But if you are already familiar of, you should be knowing like, hey, what I'm doing, right? I'm just adding the annotations directly on top of the database table, which is not the right way, because we have to, uh, you know, uh, put these annotations in a consumption view, right, where it will be directly consumed, uh, you know, uh, uh, by the application, Fiori application. So, or can be, kind of a uh, extension you can create where we can, keep only the annotation part and only the consumption view should not have any annotation at all, right? So that extension you can also create, but we are not doing it to make things more simple, okay, for you. So I'm just creating a consumption view. You see all my UI annotations. I'm writing it directly in the CDS because that is the recommended way rather than manipulating CDS from the Fury side, because you definitely have a possibilities over there. You can do that, but the recommended way is to be handled through CDS only. Okay, but yeah, that's kind of a recommended way that we should follow. Okay, so this CDS, I'm just linking with my item table, right? Because the sales order can have a zero item or many items, right? So that is why I'm creating with the association as SO item, and all the fields which all I declared in the concerned database for the header, like sales order ID, sales org, division, distribution, channel, created by and created date. So that all quite for a sales order table it should have, right? So that is our CDS for the header. Okay, not much waste time. Let's move forward with the item. Hopefully new we can creating data definition, but this time just CDS I'll be doing things for item. Let's put a description for this CDS view for SO item. Fantastic. Let's finish it off. And now we can go back and we can take a look our CDS for item table. Let's copy the enter code piece, and now we can put it back over here, right? So in the item table, it is showing like the header is missing. Of course not, we just have created, only thing we didn't activate. Okay, in the item table the same way, annotations I have put in the same table, right? You can very well notice it. Okay, so now I'm saving both the thing, but when we'll activate, of course you can anticipate we have to activate both together, otherwise because of dependencies we cannot activate individually. So let's see. Yeah, hope things will be good. It's object activated. Cool. So next step is what we discussed. Quickly take a look our SAP Help. Here is our SAP Help. So now we have to do a behavioral definition because we have done both. The CDS creation is over, right? We'll be doing a behavioral definition. Behavioral, as I told, it's kind of crude capabilities that we are going to attach with the CDS. Let's quickly go to our code snippet. Where is our behavioral definition? Here is the one. Meantime, let's go to our package once more, create new, other, core data service. Again, you see behavioral definition comes under the CDS folder, right? Let's put set behavioral definition underscore aim underscore so. Root, we created a root. I told, sorry, I maybe missed out. I'll just come back soon. We have just created the sales order header as a root, okay? Because we are creating a business object, as I already explained. Eventually, the plan is to create a business object, as you can see, and it has a hierarchy, right? The root node, child, leaf, kind of. So that we have set our header as the root node. As a child, you can put item or schedule line, whatever. So we are keeping it only, you know, uh, this header table. Okay, so next is our behavioral definition. Okay, so we have to identify the root entity, which is nothing but our header, as I explained. Now there is an option called implementation type, which is a manage and unmanage. Okay, so manage means like I am doing a current field implementation and I just would like to have SAP to take care of. SAP means SAP uh, ABAP on cloud framework should take care of all my crude capabilities. Means when you are inserting some record to database table, you have to write an insert statement, correct? So, and when it is unmanaged, means then you need to take care of all the logic pertaining to database updates, deletes, and creation, whatever, right? So that needs to be taken care of by the developer, right? So ABAP on cloud framework is not going to take care of. But this is not the scope of this particular video tutorial. Maybe in future I can create certain video on unmanaged option. Just to stick to it for this video as a managed. So I'm just going for managed option. Click on next. Then finish. So okay. So you see that create, update, delete, all this behavior, right? That been taken care of with this behavioral definition artifacts is taking care of this one. It will create an item level entries. We call it a create with association, right? You see the create statement, binding is happening with this association with the create capabilities. And if you go to the item behavior definition, you just see that update and delete will be taken care of by this particular, piece of code or program, whatever you call it. Okay, let's see certain errors. It's saying that lock dependent and the lock master needs to be turned on. So that's okay. We can just make it turned on. Similarly here also. You see the managed option as you have selected. It needs an association. Okay, it will be the header association only. But we can take a look on our GitHub. We can see that binding definition. I have put the naming as underscore m because I am going with a managed option. Okay, so let's copy this particular code and we can paste it back. Okay, same thing, only I've just added this log dependency. Okay, and read only. Okay, so then I'm just activating this one. So my behavioral definition got created. So what next we have to do? Okay, so behavioral implementation, as I told, it is only applicable when we are going for unmanaged way and we are having our own logic to handle out like this CRUD capabilities. So in our case, it's optional. So I'm just keeping that piece. So now we'll do a service definition. Okay, because we have done all the other things. So we have created our CDS, right? We have created behavior definition. So let's click on the service definition now. New, other, we have called business service. You will have service definition, right? So next, jet service definition. I'm calling it a service definition for my enter application. So I'm just exposing like what are the entities I'm interested with to get exposed. So that is the intention of this artifacts. So let's see. Yeah, the template looks like expose entity name. So you have to give, I'm just planning to give or exposing rather both header and item, right? Entity. So let's go back to our Git and we can take a look on the repository. We have this service definition here. Okay, so let's copy and let's get it pasted. Okay, fantastic. So our service definition is also complete. What next? We are calling it out like the service binding, which is our next step. Okay, we are almost done. We are very close to the UI, correct? So step by step, we are just moving forward. So next step is again this business service for path we have to select. Go for service binding. Okay, so it's service binding. I'm calling it service binding for the sales order. Uh, you might be wondering how this description is coming in case because I already did this POC beforehand, and accordingly I just kept all the code piece copied. So I think it is quite obvious like it is appearing. Anyway, so now service definition we have to link to. We have just created service definition. Next, get it finished. Cool. So service definition is available. So we are done with these particular steps. So now service consumption. Okay. So now I am a developer. I am just developing the CDS part, behavioral part I have added, crude capabilities I have attached, and you can see this authorizations default authorization linked to, but my local service endpoint is inactive. So once I make it active, so from my local means my this Eclipse, I can access the cloud, uh, the service. I can do a preview kind of things. So let's activate so that I can show you what I'm calling out. So I'm just making a local service. It will take a little time depending on the network and all speeds. And so today we'll be just getting ourselves involved, exploring this preview part. I hope things are all set perfectly. You see the header item and item header, right? So two entities we are getting it exposed. This is the service URL, SAP OPU, OData, the name, same kind of things we also have seen in our gateway client. So if I just click on this, let's see what happens. I need to log into my cloud. Okay, fine. So that is the collections. It is telling SO item and SO header, right? Okay, fine. So, okay. Also, we have an option to preview. So this service, we can just do a preview check whether how things looks like. Fantastic, right? So SAP has done really a awesome thing for the developers. You can just pretty well test your service, how it looks, how it works. You can obviously have definitely pointed out this kind of create, delete, and then auto your select options, everything got created. And like we have our table empty, so no data we could expect. If we click on go, no data found. Quite logical. So let's create. Great. So the header things is appearing. So let's put sales order number as 1. Sales org, let's say 56780101, created by, let's say, Somnath. F4 for my date. Oh, what happened? Oh, I put F5 instead of F4. My bad. Trying out again. 0101. Oh, I am not writing my name properly. That's bad. Okay, 28, right? So we are done with this data. So we can save this information. Cool. My data gets saved. So the save operations is automatically been taken care of by the framework. You have a very good scrolling tab. So if you keep on this, automatically the area will get your auto focused. Let's create the item. So let's put 10, material some dummy number, sales quantity, let's say 10, and unit of measure, ideally I should have get an F4. Okay, we'll do something shortly, saving it out. Hopefully things will be done fine. Awesome, right? So my sales order header, sales order item, it's there. I can edit if I want. I can delete even if I want. Okay, so all things are quite good. Okay, next a little bit of improvement. I thought to do it as like kind of an F4 help. I would prefer to have my unit of measure rather than typing it out. So for that we have to go our item, right? Because it's dependent on the item UI. So let's go to CDS for item. What you need to do is you just need to take out this code in active state. Let's say source code, remove comment. Also you need to expose the concerned this thing and also this piece of code. Okay, so let's quickly understand what I'm doing to make my F4 enabled. So what I have done, the cloud already has this unit of measure and kind of a composite view you can think through. So if you go to this unit of measure, you will see some fields and things are all given. Why it is not navigating? Come on. Yes. So you see this is already been built and I'm interested with the unit of measure, that is this one. So let's go back. Yeah, navigation is not working. Wait, I'm not sure. It should work. Where was my CDS? Okay, I think this is the one. So I am just association I'm creating with that now unit of measure. Initially the association was with the parent because it's an item level, my header, and then I have the you know sales order item. So from item to header level associations I had before. Now I'm creating one more association with that unit of measure, creating a just a on condition so that it can with this association it can reach that view and get my data back. And once I'm just telling, hey, this is the view, please ensure you get the data for and for this particular field I'm interested to, and it will be applicable on this particular field of my sales order CDS item. And of course I need to expose the association. because this unit of measure, right? So hopefully it will work fine. So let's activate it. Okay, so what next? Is it syntax check done? Activating. I'm not able to see anything. Hopefully it's done. Oh, my bad. Let's go to the other window. Going back. I'm just doing a refresh to ensure like all my annotations I have adjusted. Hopefully it gets loaded properly. Okay, so let's click on go. I would expect one record at least. Yes, I created it just now. Sales order. Awesome. I don't need to go scroll this side. This is a beautifully placed by SAP or UFF capabilities, whatever you call it. So what the intention was to create this one as a search help enabled. Fantastic. It's enabled. So if I now search kg, will I be able to get? I can. See? Fantastic. Saving it. So one improvement I think is good. Next improvement I was thinking to create enable the search capability so that from this search field I can find the materials I'm interested to. So let's do that. Okay. So again in the same item CDS will be responsible for this. So first thing is we have to activate this searchable property is true. This one is quite first thing that you need to do. Uh, okay, it's fine. Going to my material. I just need to uncomment these two annotations. I'm telling that the default search element is true. You have to do and fuzziness threshold is 0.8. I mean how closely matching my search string with the actual data. So that's the threshold value. I'm just setting it up. What next to do? Of course, to activate. Will that make the search field? I'm not sure. Let's see. Going back to the screen. Okay. So again, click on go. By the way, do I have this sales order and sales org working? So let's try it out quickly. Put 000 as my sales org. No data. Okay. So if I put 5678, it's working. Cool. If I put 2, no sales order. 1, oh sorry, 1 I have to write. Yes. Cool. So this is working. Fantastic. A lot of things CCP has done for us easily. Voila. You can see the search field also, right? With the little annotations change. Great. So that's okay. Does it work? Let's see. 9. No, it's not able to find. Can I get? No. So it doesn't work? Well, yes, of course, because I'm putting MET 1, right? So it should be MET 2. Cool. 4. Yes, that is a close match. I think 2, 3, then 4 I have. Something it contains. Okay, put 9. No. So that means it works, but some sort of, how much closing it's having this threshold value. That way it's able to find it out. Does this delete work? I didn't test it, right? Delete is now active because I've selected it. Click on delete. Great. Delete is working fine. Only I have the header. Okay, so I think that's pretty much I wanted to demonstrate. I hope this video looks informative to you. In our next tutorial, intention would be to create a Fury application on the cloud itself, and I'll do a cloud to cloud integration to consume this service because eventually this is the preview one. It's not the actual Fury app, right? For the developer convenience, this capability has been offered so that the developer doesn't need to wait for the UI team to complete their work, but they can test it at least the crude functionalities and all the fields are appearing fine or not. So This one, how you will be presenting it to the UI side, it's up to you. I mean, up to the UI team, right? But being a developer, I should not be worried much if my service is up and running and consumable and all the fields and annotations are working. So it's a very good way of testing my service independently of my UI. But next thing, I'll switch my role. From backend developer, I'll be becoming a UI developer, a front-end developer, or we call it as a full stack development. And there we'll create rather a Fury application and will consume this service. So thanks for watching this video and stay tuned. We'll connect soon. Okay, goodbye.